Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Xbox On.
So it's Mother's Day here in the UK.
Mother's Day?
Yeah.
Oh God.
And I guess Benny's forgotten his card, so it's just me this week telling you about some of the meanest mums in games.
So, you've done well for yourself.
So we all know GTA 5's Trevor Phillips to be a completely balanced individual. Well, not many people can break through Trevor's tough, angry exterior. He's ruthless and won't let anyone break him, unless they're his mother. After the main story ends, if you play as Trevor and head back to his trailer, you'll see a look of complete terror on his face as he steps inside the door to see an older lady with vibrant red hair, a leopard print dress, and hot pink leggings. Mrs. Phillips. She berates her son for not visiting her in jail, not finding a woman to be with, and generally says a lot of things about him that might explain why he turned out the way he did. You know that stereotype of therapists always trying to blame the mum? Well, they might be right in this case.
I'm so sorry.
After Trevor literally begs on the floor to make it up to her and she knees him in the face to get him off, harsh, she sends him off to steal some meds for her, which he dutifully does. However, upon his return, she's already gone, leaving Trevor in tears on the floor. I've never wanted to hug a murderer more in my life. GTA, how do you do this to me?
Mama.
I'll not have him hurt my little ones!
So, Dr. Bridget Tenenbaum is not a mother in the traditional sense, more in a weird, sort of adoptive / Dr. Frankenstein sense. Listening to audio diaries, you learn that Dr. Tenenbaum was discovered to be a genius scientist while she was locked away at a concentration camp as a young girl. In fact, this saved her life. So did she use it for good? See, Dr. Tenenbaum was the discoverer of Adam, the thing that totally didn't cause Rapture to fall into complete ruin. Working with Frank Fontaine, she found a way to mass produce it in host bodies. However, the only suitable hosts were little girls, and thus she created the Little Sisters. But by the time Jack arrived at Rapture, Dr. Tenenbaum had had a change of heart. Eventually, the idea of using sea slugs to turn little girls into tormented monsters that eerily still acted like children got to her, and she developed a plasmid to reverse the process. She requests Jack's help to turn the Little Sisters back into the children they once were, promising good rewards.
Mama Tenenbaum said he'll help us.
Or you could just listen to Atlas, ignore her as the creator of these monsters, and harvest them for double the tasty Adam. So Isaac and his mum enjoyed a simple life, him playing with his toys, her watching the TV. Then one day she heard a voice from the heavens telling her that Isaac is corrupt and she must take all of his things away. Okay, bit mean. Then she hears the voice again and it tells her to lock him away from the corrupt world.
I will follow your instructions, Lord.
Okay, getting a bit messed up now. Then she hears it again and it tells her
To prove your love and devotion, I require a sacrifice.
Okay, getting quite OTT now, and by that I mean Old Testament terrifying. She causes Isaac to end up on a terrible journey, fighting monsters in dark and unhappy places with his tears. He eventually fights her in a massive boss battle with her eyes poking through doors and a massive heel-clad leg coming down to stomp on him. Hearing her call out is one of the most unnerving things I've ever heard in a game. Still, if you can manage to beat her, you're treated to a cutscene where God intervenes and saves Isaac with a heavy Bible to the back of her head. But that's just Isaac's drawings. Oh God. Mrs. Chu is the owner of restaurant The Golden Koi and mum of Winston, a member of the Water Street gang who often use her restaurant to do business. During the game, Winston and his childhood friend Dog Eyes have a bit of a falling out, so on the day that Winston is due to marry the love of his life, Peggy Lee, he has his minion Johnny Ratface and other members of his gang take him out. They dress up as the 18K Triad to throw the family off the scent, but Wei Shen gets a good look at Ratface and promises Mrs. Chu he'll find out who's responsible.
And I'll make him tell me who's responsible.
But she says, bring him to her. So you bring him back to her, and in terror, he spills the beans. And then she spills his blood with a meat cleaver. Ouch.
Please, no!
She then asks you to fetch Dog Eyes, and when you bring him back to her, she shows him hospitality by feeding him a rather interesting meal. The main ingredient? Rat face. Yeah, she cooked rat face and fed him to his boss before turning her cleaver on him as he begs for mercy. Don't mess with Mrs. Chew or you'll be stew.
Oh God! I'm sorry, please! No!
Round one, fight!
Now, there are a lot of mums to be found in fighting games. Well, who's afraid to go into close quarter combat after you've gone through one of the most painful experiences ever? No, not childbirth, school plays. Yeah, you're great. Well, one series with its fair share of mums was Tekken. In Tekken 2, Michelle Chang entered the Iron Fist competition when she found her mother had been kidnapped. In Tekken 3, when Michelle is kidnapped, her adopted daughter Julia Chang follows in her footsteps and fights through the Iron Fist tournament to rescue her too.
I'll never let Heihachi get away with this.
Then you have Jun Kazama, mum of Jin Kazama. Jun made her debut in Tekken 2, whilst Jin was introduced in Tekken 3, just like Julia. Did their biological clocks all go off at once or something? Unfortunately, Jun was permanently KO'd while Jin was still young, but she made sure he was taught how to fight, and they can play together in Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Until Jun turns into a ball of light and disappears, that is. Nina Williams also brought a child, Steve Fox, into the world after Tekken 2. Not that she planned to, or even knew, as she was cryogenically frozen for 15 years and impregnated without her consent. What? Then in Tekken 4, she's asked to assassinate Steve, not knowing he's her kid, so she fights through the Iron Fist tournament to kill him. However, their relationship is revealed to her at the last minute as she reads that his mother was a frozen test subject. Her. She aims the sniper but hesitates, and then as she escapes Lei Wulong, Steve pushes her out the way of gunshots. If he only knew. Now, those fighting mums don't seem the worst, you might be thinking. Sure, but they're skilled fighters you do not want to get on the bad side of. Plus, mums in fighting games often end up fighting against their own kids, and they do not hold back. Yeesh.
Nina Williams wins.
So there you have it, some mean mums in games. Let us know your favourites in the comments down below and subscribe for way more cool videos.
Got it. Like, how cool is that? All right, should we get started?
I've already done it.
What?
I've already done it.
Oh, well, see you guys next time.